Welcome back, guys, to our Georgia State Dynasty. We're fighting to hopefully, in these last 3 games of the season, starting with a rivalry game against Georgia Southern, to stay above the 25% of wins in the conference. Now, I'm not sure if it's above. Is it just above? So it's just win 25%. So we just have to hit that point. Now, that should be, if we win this next game, we'll have it at least locked. Because we have 2 other games after this, that'll put us at 3-6 or 3-5 if we lose the last 2 games, which means we're over that 25%. Otherwise, if we go 2-6, we're under that 25%, and yeah, we failed that. So recruiting, we kind of finished off that last episode with recruiting. Kind of show it there. We're just trying to help the boys, and I want to keep him on here, and then I'm gonna put Butler as a limited practice today, just to have him still here. Otherwise, everyone else is going to practice on this. Butler and Brown get decreased composure, but we can easily get that back in, so it's not a big deal from there. Now, Georgia Southern, as we finish up this season, we're gonna probably have a little bit less and some big plays kind of for the remaining of the season, because I don't think we're going to be able to compete for anything. Bowl game is still kind of on there if we win out, but that is still an unknown. Max Johnson here, pocket passer, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,500 yards. Rushing, Mbadinga here, the senior, 561 yards, 5 touchdowns. We'll see those. And then in the receiver, wow. Okay, we have 2 players that are over 600. One's the tight end, River Helms. And then Ashton Hollins at receiver. This came through. He's a speedster, but only 87 speed. And we might be able to get some pressure on the interior. We'll see how this is. Not the biggest defense that we're going to be playing, so we just need to come through and just win this game. Now, like I said, nothing to really talk about recruiting. We'll see that in the next, and nothing to really talk about in coaching skills, because we don't have anything else kind of opened up for us. First game of our 3-game set. Gotta win all 3 to have a possible bowl game, because I think you need 6 wins, so still important. We're gonna come out here. I think 2 of these games are actually at home, so at least we can get some ratings up at home as well in our school rankings, so that'll be a good thing as well. And a rivalry game for this first one against Georgia Southern. They're 2-7, we are 3-6, trying to move to 4-6. I think after we win 1 or 2 of these games, I think it's just 1 more, we have that ad that we needed for NIL, but we'll take a look at that later as this is kicked and kneeled into the end zone to start this game. So last meeting, it's tied 6-6. It was a Georgia Southern 41-24 win. So we're looking to not lose here or lose that big. So here we go. It's going to start out with Rowe on the outside. And this is a Max Johnson throw to start out the game. And he's going to drop back and throw it again, going underneath. And that is going to be taken to a 3rd and 4. Adinga in the backfield, probably mispronouncing that, but we put some pressure. What a grab in the air. Max Johnson. He's not the most mobile quarterback, but he has some good high point possession receivers and some contested catch receivers out here when it comes to ratings. So a 2nd and 6 up the middle, only gain 1, 3rd and 5. Dinga in the backfield with Johnson dropping back. Looking, we're going to send an extra 2 Going over the middle, and what a grab! This Josh Dallas with his second contested catch. And that's for a first down. They're going to finally hand it off for their first handoff, or second handoff of the day for a gain of 7. 12 personnel thrown out for the screen. We bottle that up. That's a 3rd and 3. Trips right off the line of scrimmage, dropping back. Looking, Johnson clearing pocket, going off to his right. Man right open under the zone, and that's going to move it for a first down. Going to be an RPO give to Denga, and that is a short gain. Man in motion on the right side. Quick throw to him on the right, and that's a good play. Making a 3rd and 2. Tight ends on the right side. Run up the middle, and he is going to get the point of the football just beyond the goal line, and that is going to start out the day with a Georgia Southern 7 points with that touchdown by David Mandinga. So outcoming today, I mean, last week was a great time, but we need to start stacking more wins. So here we go, and we're going to start off with a handoff to Butler. And what I mean by last time, the first game, second game, not so much against Appalachian State. Dropping back here, Brown rolling out to his right, looking downfield, doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to be throwing it out of bounds. Lucky he wasn't called for stepping out of bounds as we drop back on a 3rd and 9. Trying not to have a 3 now. We get the first down with a scramble by Brown. Looking here, a RPO throw to Avery with a deep slant, and that is going to be a first down. Dropping back again, pressure in his face, going jump ball up there, and Riles didn't have a chance. We're hoping to maybe get that over the defender, but just too much air. We do a little bit of a screen, and what a trickery screen with Butler. Bring it to our own lineman though, but still good for a first down. Movement in the backfield. It's going to be handed out to Butler, making a move for one guy out there. Has to move back inside though. That's bottled up. Play action, moving away from all that pressure and that blitz. Brown is going to rush for it, get the first down inside the 30 and down to 26, and we have an injury on the offensive line. That is not looking great. We'll have to see if that actually impacts this O-line. As you give it to Riles on the outside, has a block, the 10, the 5, and Riles, what a run by DJ Riles. Well, technically that's a forward pitch pass, but we'll take it. Got the edge, got himself a block, and then I misjudged by the safety to take him down. So that was our center. We will actually keep him in the game, but of course after that touchdown he's going to have a little bit more time, as that's batted right back into Max's face. And Max Johnson back underneath, has a man, makes a great play out here with his speed. And that's going to be a first down. 2 tight ends right side. Johnson under pressure, and down he goes. That's Jonah Reeder. Hopefully this defensive line takes a step back. We see a little bit of an edginess out here in this rivalry game, going out there and making fun of quarterback and showing that Jonah Reeder, wearing that number 0, can get to the quarterback all day long. Out of the shotgun, quick throw left side, and that is going to be a loss of 1, and that will be the end of your first quarter. Great passing yards, but the rushing yards not great for Georgia Southern, and they're going to have to pass out of this 3rd and 19, and they are just surrendering this ball back to us on a punt as they lose another yard off a 4th and 20 deep kick around the 30. It's going to be fielded. Has a couple of blocks on the outside. The 45. Close to the 50. And he is going to run back a couple yards to the 46. So out of the shotgun. First give here to Butler. And what a great move with that joystick. And that is a first down. Little RPO again. We're going to give it to Butler. Again, it's just speedy off his feet today. But only gain of 1 there. Play action, looking. Pressure's in his face. It's going to be picked as it bounces off from the lineman. And he will be brought down from Hollier from behind. That is just a bad turn of events Hill is there to pluck it off the back of the offensive lineman. We are going to have to look at that one because it's there. Hit as he throws. And looking at this again, the pressure from the blitz, it goes off the guard's back, and Hill is there just to get it off. And that is just a bad turn of events, just some bad luck for us. And we're back on defense. So starting the drive here, Johnson, gonna be a handoff, going outside, has some room, and that is bottled up. I don't know what was going on with the block, but we're easily there with the corner. Another RPO, and that is swallowed up in the hole. What a great play. And that makes it 3rd and 9. Dropping back, looking. Johnson fires this man over the middle, and he has some speed as a tight end. What is this? What is this speed? He just outrun our secondary. He's outran it. And now with some good field positions, we come back and just... we're pushing here. A good first down there. Dropping back. Quick throw right side on the screen. Hollier will have no gain. Here, dropping back, looking. Brown out of the shotgun. He's going to take it upfield. He's going to slide just before the 10 and down at the 12. Play action. Looking. Moving away from the pressure. Looking. Going over. In the back of the end zone. It's caught out of the hands of Riles. He just has to make the play. And it's out of his hands. It hits him right in the hands. He just drops it. You gotta catch that ball. Pretty good scramble, though, by Brown. And good accuracy. So we like to see that from the senior playing his last 3 games. And now 2nd and 10. It's going to be a handoff here. Butler will get 3, and it's a 3rd and 7. Butler, the man in motion out wide to back in the backfield. Tight end right side moving. Brown is able to get down at the line of scrimmage, so we kick a field goal, and it's a 14-10 game. Johnson, though, out of the shotgun, makes the move, and what a couple of broken tackles. Max Rogers is just getting full effort from this receiving core. And now Badinga with a big run of close to 15 up the middle. And just like that, Georgia Southern is in Panther territory. Quick throw right side, and we are locking this down now. As Johnson is not had a good time with these screens. That one's dropped, and it's a 3rd and 11. Dropping back. We send the rest in the zone. He has to go underneath that zone, and that we bottle it up. And now it's a 7-point game. 1:45 left in this first half. Brown don't like what's going downfield. We're going to scramble this one and get past the 35 for a first down. Out of the shotgun again, dropping back, looking. Going to be underneath. It's going to be Riles. He's going on the outside, but cannot get the edge. That's a 2nd and inches, and the clock is ticking. Quick throw right side. Butler has the space to the 40. The 35 and out of bounds at the 30. We are putting a lot of pressure, a lot of offensive movement here, but finally we see a defensive thing. Unfortunately, Georgia Southern makes that incomplete pass, but Butler up the middle with a good gain in 9. We catch him sleeping on the run game, and we're going to give it again to Butler as they're sleeping off of it, and we will get it inside. We're going to take our first time out there. Dropping back. Blitz is picked up. We're going to still run away from it. Going. Throwing the end zone. And it's off of Avery Jr.'s hands. You got to catch the football. So we're going to set up a screen here. It's going to be thrown, but just a lot of traffic there. And I think we threw it probably too late. But here on 3rd and 10. Going for the end zone. It's off Butler's hands and another drop. 2 big drops this one. But this time it's not incomplete. It's not, I mean, it's caught by the defender. There's nothing you can do with that. Come on, guys. Come on. Brandon Tyson out there making a great play. Arguably, he's there, but it just falls right to him. And looking at this, Butler has the ball in his hands. Is he going to be down inbounds? Probably not. It's close. But at least bring the ball down. So Johnson with 20 seconds left. They're going to actually try to push this ball downfield. That one is for 3. A lot of deep routes. Going underneath again, getting it to the 30. 2 throws out of bounds, stopping the clock has really helped them. Going again. Badinga makes a play here. Wow, juking through that, and they're going to have one Hail Mary throw. I don't know if Johnson can reach. He has 2 guys, 2-on-2 over there, and that's knocked out of the receiver's hands. And that will end your first half. So we're down by 7, and we're going to bounce around some of these games. This is a 3-game episode. It's going to end up being a longer episode for this one, so that's why sometimes we might get the field position in some weird spot. But know what else is weird? Some of these games. New Mexico's up 17-14 against UNLV. Texas over LSU. SMU over Wake Forest. And Arkansas beat the living hell out of South Carolina. South Carolina just crumbled this season. They look good at times, but they just ultimately crumbled. And that's hoping our defense doesn't do that, because this is a great play here with the tight end outrunning us defensively. Not a good look. And they have almost 200 yards passing at this point. The yards are pretty even in this, but still, our secondary needs to get a lot better. But we get to start off with threatening their secondary with that run, and we don't get on the outside, so it's only a gain of 2. Dropping back. Brown moving away from pressure, not the smartest move. That's behind the receiver. Lucky. Corner could not make an adjustment. 3rd and 8, trying to avoid a 3 and out. We go to Riles. Riles gets the edge barely and out of bounds for a first down. Handoff here to Butler up the middle, and that's a gain of 6. Going to be a little bit ahead of the chains here as we have a play action. Looking downfield. Brown nowhere to go and just rolls out into that sack, making a 3rd and long 13. Dropping back. Just to roll away from the pressure. Going. I don't know what that defender was doing, but he bit on us moving up, and that leaves Burn open for that grab and a first down. Hand off to Butler at the left side. Another great gain, and that is going to be a first down. Going to be a delayed handoff again. Good block by Hollier down the field. That makes it a 2nd and 1. A little bit of a play action. Going to Burn with this. That's an RPO, and well, that doesn't pan out. We lose 1, but Butler on short yardage has been great over the past couple of weeks, and he will get the first down. Gonna be a quick pass on RPO out to Washington, and it's a 2nd and inches from the 21. Handoff here to Butler. There's one man to meet, makes a move. It's a 5, and taking out from behind, just the speed out of the movement is not the highest. Good blitz, and what a good play to knock that ball down. Dropping back, another blitz is there. We panic and just throw this out of bounds, and a 3rd and goal. I'm thinking maybe they're gonna blitz again. They do, but I mean, we throw this to Butler on the short side of the field, and it's easily taken down. So it's a 4-point game, 17-13. Johnson, quick throw over to tight end right side. He has a first down, and so much more with a gain of 5 after that. Going to be a handoff. Badinga up the middle. Good stop, but this offense is still rolling. Quick throw on that RPO, and that's a first down there. Johnson cannot be stopped. Man in motion left and right. It's going to be a pitch out to the receiver. Going to the outside, has an edge at the 30, the 25, 20, 10, 5, and touchdown for Georgia Southern. That's just something we need to do, is just be better. But Bradshaw just had the edge, and Bradshaw showed off that speed. He sure did. He had a couple of good blocks, though, and we just could not drop that offense. So 24-13. Hand off to Butler. Good room on the outside to the 35. Out of the shotgun here, Butler in the backfield, trips near the hash on the right side, looking. Brown, good QB spy, and Brown nowhere to go. We do get 1 out of that as they send a blitz off the edge. Looks like it was a dime package, and it gets home, and that's a 3rd and 9. Pressure up the middle, but we do throw behind that pressure in Washington for a first down. Dropping back. Another blitz And it's picked up on the left side, but not the right side again. That's a 2nd and 22. Brown looking. He's going to rush for this. But the 45, take the hit at the 47. And we are trying to get one more play before the 4th quarter. Blitz off the right side. Or left side, I should say, as we throw to the left, and Avery has it. The corner's not going to let us see if that's a first. I don't think that is our first deep ball, like off a streak like that. As we see, Max Johnson is just cooking our secondary and defense. But we're going to take another look at that. They're going to say it is not a catch. There was a blitz off the edge. Avery has coverage moving over, and I mean, he catches it, but he's pushed out of bounds. 4th and 10. Dropping back, looking. Gonna go underneath to Riles, and Riles is taken out from behind. I mean, should we have went for it there? Probably not, but we need some kind of spark, and it is a 2-possession game. But Badinga up the middle, trying to get in the field goal range. Quick throw, right side, jarred out of the receiver's hands. That's a 2nd and 10. And we finally have a goal line, or actually a short yardage forced here, I should say. And we cannot get it, as Max Johnson's just slinging the ball around. His receivers aren't ready, and then when they are, our secondary is not ready. As here, trying to go over the middle, that would have been a wide open touchdown, but a 3rd and 10. Dropping back, trips left, going over the middle, and what a catch. That's one thing that's really helped this Georgia Southern offense as well. The receivers have held on to the football, something we haven't done, and in the contested catches. It's just cooking us right now. But we still need to come out here and play. There's still 8 minutes left, as Johnson's trying to poke this into the end zone. Looking, pressure in his face, he's going to throw it out of bounds. And it's going to be a 3rd and goal. And we have a goal line stand. The outside breaking a tackle. Tackle's there, and no, it's not. Maxie couldn't do it either. It's a touchdown. That's a 31-13. This offense needs to score quickly. Our defense needs to get a couple 3-and-outs or short possessions for Georgia Southern for us to get back in this. But Helms out here has just cooked us at times. Brown pressure in his face, and Washington cannot box out the defender to make the play. Dropping back, looking. Brown has some space, finds this man Butler. It's a little bit underthrown, but able to adjust and get the big 1st down. Dropping back, looking. Gonna be a quick throw left side, and Hollier can't hold on to that one. Man in motion, receiver all the way to the left. It's a tight end screen, quick throw, and it's only a gain of 2. A little bit of some movement on the line of scrimmage. Dropping back, looking. We're going to run for this. We're going to have a block in front of us and a 1st down, and then some to the 30. It's a good run here, but clock is a ticking. Quick throw right side. Riles is bottled up quickly. And we need to get this going as Butler up the middle. Good gain and push down for some extra yards. And we're pushing. It's under 440 though. It's left to play. Quick throw underneath. Avery is there. Got a little tangled up with his own player, his own receiver. And on 2nd down, up the middle, and Butler with the rushing touchdown. We're not out of this. We certainly are not out of this. But it's going to take a lot. Still 11-point game. Well, technically, if we get the 2-point conversion, if we do go for it, and we will take the field goal to start this one, because still a 2-possession game. We don't want to make it a 3-possession game. As we get some semblance of some pressure, the throwaway, but here going out, and what a defensive play, jarred loose. That's maxing the outside. 3rd and 10, trying to force the 3-and-out. Looking, pressure's there. And so we get good field position. We need to score quickly. Going underneath. Washington here working into enemy territory here as we are pressing this Panthers offense. Going out, quick throw right side. Butler has a block in front of him. We're going to go out of bounds to preserve this clock. Going to be a handoff. With a couple of blocks, but maybe a little bit too far towards some other ones, and that's bottled up quickly. Quick throw right side, caught for a first down and out of bounds. 2:58 left to play. Brown looking, going underneath, and we are in a hurry up right now, as that is a good one. Clock is still ticking. Dropping back, looking. He's going to rush for this and call his own number as Brown, for more than a first down. He did get that, but he also has a rushing touchdown. We are going to go for it here. It is a 2-point conversion. Here we go. Looking. RPO, quick to the right side. They aren't ready for the tight end screen. And that will the tight end out behind the screen. But hey, it works. It's a 3-point game. We've clawed our way back into it. Can our defense give us one more stop? But Danga has other thoughts there, as he has a good gain of 9 as we hit the 2-minute timeouts. And this one, Badanga gets the first down. We are going to take our first timeout there, as it's a handoff. We blitz here, and that RPO is going nowhere. We take our second timeout. We blitz again, stack the line, getting outside, and we have good edge coverage on that. It's like 3rd and 17. We are stacking this line, but dropping back into the zone. It is a screen on the outside. They will be able to tick off about 30 to 35 seconds off this with the punt, but they kick it so far. We get it from our own 20. Minute 7 to win this game. Looking, gonna go underneath, find Avery. Avery has a block there, 35, pushed, kept in bounds. So clock is ticking. We are in the hurry up. Dropping back, looking, pressure in our face, and down he goes. That is a big sack. And that wasted about 10 seconds trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Dropping back, Brown over the middle, that's knocked away. It's a 3rd and 22. Dropping back, looking, Brown. We're gonna run for this. This man coverage has a block. We're gonna take this hit and get it to a 4th and 3. Clock still ticking. 25, 20, now 21. We're gonna run this again. Brown has a block. We are going to get these guys to the line of scrimmage. Going close to 10 seconds left. We're gonna throw this deep. It's up, in Washington cannot catch it. 4th and 10. We're actually up. 2nd and 10 with 10 seconds left, and now the incompletion, just running out of time here, going for it all, going for it deep, and that's an easy play for Georgia Southern to make this rivalry a 1-game advantage to them. We had an opportunity in there to do something in the modern day hate that is the Georgia Southern rivalry, but Max Johnson out here, 286 and 3 touchdowns. You can't have an opposing quarterback just eating you up, and the contested catches and the broken tackles. This defense needs some help, and we're going to look going into this recruiting cycle to really help this defense. Close. No cigar on this one. Felt like we played decent. We had a couple of balls not go our way, a handful of plays. Big play over the middle. Able to go, I think, to the tight end. He's able to cut it up the middle of the field and score. The roundabouts, or the end around, that goes up the field and scores. And then the 2 interceptions. It's really the 4 plays that turned this game here. Resulted in 2 touchdowns. And I think even off the turnovers they had 2 touchdowns. That's one stat I'd like to see in team stats, of how many points off turnovers. So yeah, we ate them up in yards and rushing, but they actually did a pretty good job in the passing. Where's the rush yards? It's weird that this is passing yards here, but I don't have a little rush yards. It's here. Ah, that's why. There's a rush yards are here. I mean, 3rd down was great, but we couldn't get off the field. Red zone, not great. We're 66%. We hold them to 50%. But yeah, this is the thing right here, the turnovers. Going to player stats, we'll start with our own Cameron Brown, 26-44, playing behind a lot with this, 273, touchdown, 2 interceptions. In the rushing, $139 for Butler, and a touchdown. So he's been looking pretty good with that. I'm hoping I can retain him with some NIL. That's probably going to be most of our NILs to Butler if that goes out of control. Riles with 73 yards and a touchdown. Butler with 72. We need something else from these other guys, though. We had a couple of drops, which didn't help things. We gave up 4 sacks today. Not a lot of total tackles, but a good amount of TFLs, so at least some of the speed is working out. 1 sack by Reader. No interceptions on the day. Looking at Georgia Southern, they're 25-35, 286 for Max Johnson, 3 touchdowns. Just felt like we weren't affecting the pocket. 77 yards on 15 carries for Mbadinga. 1 touchdown for him as well. Wow. Just looking at TD, I was like, what does that say? Hollins for 67 yards. We had a touchdown by Bradshaw here. We just not able to do anything with that. That's the one over the middle. Actually, I think he's their 4th receiver. Yeah, I think he's their 4th receiver in that. Or their 3rd cutting up the middle. Could be the slot receiver. There's a 4 or 5 receiver set. Total 12 here. Give up 4 sacks, 2 INTs. Yeah, this should have been a better game. So I did the math on this, and this ad inspection here, we should be at about 30%, if my math is correct. All right, Glenn Pettigrew is verbally committed. Now, there's a way that you can unverbally commit players if we need to, and I don't think we need to push this as much as we probably do, unless anyone's kind of pushing there. So Xavier Butler gets Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week, so you'd love to see that. So Marshall here, let's go. Carlos Del Rio Wilson out here has 2,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's pretty good there. He is a redshirt senior. Then a rushing 659 yards at halfback. And then a QB, he's a pocket passer. Bro, this man is a pocket passer with close to 600 yards rushing. He almost has as much as his running back. And 6 touchdowns. This is going to be a hard game here. In the receiving, it's all about Adrian Norton, the senior out of Ohio. And he has a little bit of speed, 88 speed. Has 4 touchdowns. There's going to be a lot for this. Good assists. I mean, sacks only 5.5 for Shimura. All right, let's get into this one for Marshall. So here we are, the second game against Marshall. We are playing at Marshall for this one. We need to recover from that loss. Now, we're just playing for pride and a little bit of spoiler. Well, really pride. We can't really spoil anyone's day at this point. Marshall has 6 wins. They're going to be in a bowl game more than likely as the season goes on, and also the same thing to fit this one. But hey, it's all about pride. It's all about winning as many games as possible this season. In this big rainy day, we have the better rushing attack. I'm probably gaslighting you guys, but I feel in my bones with Butler. We're going to see Toby Payne out here. Only 34 catches, a reception at 374. Been banged up a little bit for Marshall, but still 6-4 with one of their key players. And this is going to be given and put on the ground. And what is the quarterback doing? Delreal Wilson out here trying to do some acrobatics, I guess, which threw off the holding there at the left tackle. I don't know if that was a broken play or the quarterback run, but it certainly didn't work. And, well, that didn't work because they're coming back for a false start. And so we have Barbie in the backfield here. He is going to grab that carry, and that's going to be 3rd and 13. Play action going out to the right, looking. We'll just call him Wilson. Going underneath, and that is going to sign off on that first drive of the 3 and out. This is the biggest thing. Cameron Brown had 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, but I mean, the guys were dropping footballs. It's not going to be great because conditions out here to make big catches today, so we're going to get Butler involved here as he gets his first carry for 10. Going a little bit of a play action, batted at the line of scrimmage, and that could have been a good gain, but not able to get there. As Butler with the carry on the outside, and I'm at a 3rd and 4. Dropping back, looking quick throw left side. Butler, just I don't know what resigned here, but we're not going to make this kick. Punting's too close. We're going to roll outside. Brown has the speed of the 40 to 30 to 25, 15, and hit out of bounds after a gain of 27. Let me get a 1st and 10 from the 13. Hand off to Butler. Dragged down from behind after a gain of 2. Tight end left side. Play action. Looking. Rolling to our right. And we just roll right into that pressure. 3rd and 8. Man in motion is Butler coming back in the backfield. Dropping back. Looking. Going quick underneath. And Hullier has this. Fights for the yards and gets the first down. So from the 1, can we get there? Blitz is there up the middle, and we throw it. Avery comes back to it, and that is a passing touchdown. Start our first drive in the rain. I guess we can catch today, but this running game is the focus with the true freshman. And Marshall is already on the last on their back leg, as that is the last thing they need, I should say, with that drop. Conditions not out there, and they're just going back more. That's Jaden Hood on the sack. 3rd and 20 out here. We're going to send 4. We're going to scramble away from the pressure. Find a man, and I don't know what that was. Barbie hit him in the hands, but got soft hands out there. Don't want to, or brick hands, I should say. Soft hands means you would catch the ball, but brick hands means he's going to fail that one as we get it up to the 30. And we have a short field position. Quick throw right side to Riles. And that's just not identifying the block on the outside, but we do get 5. This time, no Riles on the outside. Can he work his magic? No, it's only a gain of 1. Looking here, Brown out of the shotgun play action. Looking. Pressure is picked up. We roll. Good throw. Avery Jr. tiptoe grab. And that's a 1st down. 1st and goal from the 6. Bouncing off the left tackle. But only a gain of a couple. Looking here. Brown, handoff. Butler looking and gets into the end zone. And just like that, Marshall is shocked. The 6 and 4 team being shocked by the 3 and 7. This is what we needed all season. And Marshall trying to get back into this. Another broken play like the first one. And they're going to name that a sack. And Wilson just not having a fun time in the pocket. Finding his man here. And that is going to be a 1st down. They'll give it to him. Barbie in the backfield. He's going to sit and block here. A little bit of a high pass on the right side off that slant. But all of the movement, he goes back 3 yards maybe. Wilson, quick throw underneath the right side for the first. Actually, they'll say 3rd and inches. 2 tight ends left side. A good rush up the middle for the 1st down. Going here. And that is a nice throw. A little bit of a Aaron Rodgers-esque throw there on the short arm. But great accuracy. And Marshall needs something for their offense. Working into Panthers territory. Quick throw right side. Missed tackle again. And Wilson getting a good gain for this offense. Handoff here. A little stutter step And that will make it a 2nd and inches. Going to be a play action. Quick throw right side. You'll have the first down. And I think they're going to a second back here, as I'm seeing the last 4 or 5 plays. But Wilson breaking a tackle out here. So I have this actually backwards. Number 30 is Boston, and number 6 is out here, RB. So this can be a quarterback keeper for Wilson into the end zone for the touchdown. And that will put Marshall on the board. Trying to get this crowd known as the Herd back in to this game. But we have other answers and questions for this defense. As the rain has stopped in Brown, we're going to throw a little bit more. And we're over the middle on what a... Did we put that through a couple people's hands in the line of scrimmage? It's first down nonetheless. And here's Brown going outside the Butler out of the backfield. And we cross near the 50. Going to be a fake pitch. Looking Brown over the middle. And Riles just wrestles this away from the defender. That was Smith in coverage. Just could not pick it up. And that's a good play. In this one, Avery, we throw a high ball and Avery's there. So we're able to catch today. And we are having a good running game with Butler up the middle to move these chains. From the 23 here, quick throw left side with the screen. We have a couple of blocks, but not able to be held. That's a 2nd and 6. Hand off to Butler. And Butler jumped on his back there. That's a good stop. 3rd and 3. Going away from the coverage. He has it. Has the space in front of him. Brown into the end zone for the touchdown. We maintain the 2-possession lead. Putting all this pressure on this Marshall offense. Is this a run over to Barbie on the right side, bottled up behind the backfield. 2nd and 12. Going for it deep. It's there, and he holds on to it. Wilson has a big play, and they're still making another big play in the screen. And this is what I mean. The secondary struggles at times, and it does not look good as we give up back-to-back big, long plays. That one was 9 instead of 10. But here's another big play, and on this drive, we gave up 3 to 4 big plays. And Marshall just like that within 7. Going to be a handoff here to Butler up the middle as the clock is ticking. Showing no urgency in this one. Rolling on the right side. Brown looking. We're going to throw this out of bounds. It's a 3rd and 8. Looking for something here. They're only going to send 3. Rolling to the right side. We have some space. We have a block and out of bounds. And a tackle out of bounds not called. We are unhappy about that. Rolling away from pressure. Throw of the Hollier to the right side. And we're going to be in a no huddle from this point. Let's see. Play action. Looking. Rolling away from the 3-man rush. A touch pass. And lucky that wasn't picked. And on the flip side, lucky didn't bounce back to our own receiver. But not a great decision. Brown rolling on the right side. Riles underneath just to move the chains. That's a good first down. We take our first time out. They're still consistently sending 3, and we are rolling away from this. Looking, we're going to scramble and out of bounds there to make it a 2nd and 2. 44 seconds left, setting up the screen. It's against like 3-man, and they had all the coverage going deep, and we have a good screen behind a lot of that. And we're just inside field goal range. Brown's going to scramble for this one again to 20. The 15 out of bounds at the 13. We do take a timeout between those plays, but a quick throw left side overthrown, intended for Butler. That's a 2nd and 10. Dropping back. Blitz is picked up. They send an extra one, but Riles into the end zone fighting for it, and there is another big play. This offense can score points when it needs to, but this defense, we need better defense. But I'm excited for the future of this offense next season. Yes, we're going to have a different quarterback because Brown is a senior. But I feel like a lot of these guys going with the rushing of Butler and some of these mid-classmen to upperclassmen as they go into their senior year next season could be great players for us. It helps solidifying a new quarterback for next season. As Marshall gonna go, nice touch pass by Wilson over the middle, and they're gonna look like they're gonna go for it all here and try to get a touchdown before the half. Pressure in his face and knocked away by Nelson. So only one play left. They're gonna go for it just beyond the goal line. It's knocked down, bounces around until it hits the ground. That could have been bad if it actually is caught by a Marshall or wide receiver. But we get away with a 2-possession lead going into the half. Probably our biggest possession lead this season against a winning team, if any. And speaking of winning teams here, our Kansas State is 10-0. Michigan State over Oregon, SMU over Notre Dame, and Northwestern is beating Minnesota. Minnesota's ranked. Wow. That's some wild stuff going on in the rankings. But we have Brown here actually using his feet productively, getting some good passes, and he's going to try to put a 3rd possession score on the board here. So Brown here, hand off to Butler, and that we might have a 3-and-out instead. Dropping back, they do send an extra. We roll away from that. We throw underneath. The Riles nowhere to go, down at the 30, and we punt it back. We'll punt it this time to Marshall for the first time in this half, as we have a great run stuff up the middle by Mullings. 2nd and 11. Looking here, overthrows, and I don't think either player was ready for that one. That's a 3rd and long. Looking, and that is thrown behind the receiver. Is the wet conditions out here affecting the quarterback play? But you know what's not affecting is Butler, who gets the edge on this pitch, and no one will catch him. The true freshman going the distance off a pitch. A couple of big blocks on the outside. Good swinging there by the lineman. I believe that's a guard in a tackle swing out there. We didn't even need the tackle swing. The guard swing was great, but the tackle was not fast enough to get out there, and the guy just missed. He missed the edge coverage, and Butler, the true freshman, makes them pay. But Marshall has some other ideas. We're going to give them 2 on this. It's okay. We felt bad. It's not going to be a 3-possession game. It's going to be a 2-possession game. That's going to make it a 34-16 game. We can't allow that to come back up to haunt us. But Wilson, quick throw left side. That is too low. Receiver can't make a play on it. Quick throw kind of behind him, so that's a risky throw. Making a move down the field and taking down near the 40 for a 1st down. I don't know if there was a man in motion, but our guy was moving like there was. But we still stopped that play for only 1 yard. Good screen on the outside. What a good move. And that will be moving the chains for Marshall. This is Boston up the middle, fighting for this one. And that will be another 1st down for Marshall. Tight end went right to left. Barbie checks in. He's going nowhere. 12 personnel. And that's going to be thrown right behind the splitting tight ends out to Barbie. And that's dropping back again. And over the middle on a deep slant. Good catch. And a 1st down. 2 tight ends to the right. But it doesn't matter. It's a quarterback keeper. And that's, I believe, is his 2nd rushing touchdown. Calling his number off another RPO. And Wilson is clawing back into this. It's an 11-point game. Should we become nervous? While Butler loses 1 there. Is picked up. We're moving out of this. Throwing off balance. And not a great decision. They're going to send 2 extra ones. And that's down in the dirt. We could have just threw behind the blitz, probably short, and got the 1st down, but a little bit of a panic on my part as Marshall not in panic here after Boston gets 9 and Barbie finished that 1st down. Gonna be a quick throw left side, and Nelson finally out there with the tackle getting off the block on a 2nd and 3. Under the zone again, right side, moving the chains, just trying to keep this ball in front of us. as we blitz. And this is probably what we should be doing. More blitzing. And we're going to do it again. Quick throw out of this. Not able to look downfield. And it's a 3rd and 6. 12 personnel. Tight ends. Splits. We stop them. It's 4th and inches. They're going to go for it. Gonna be tight end left side. We blitz over the middle. And what a play. What a play by Toby Payne. And a quick throw out an RPO. It is bounced around the line of scrimmage. I don't know if that hit an offensive lineman. But another quarterback keeper. And here's Wilson. Calling his name again. And so they're going to try to get within tying for a field goal. Drop back, and Wilson's just not accurate with that pass. So it's still a touchdown game. Dropping back. Brown looking as a comeback, and Washington is just absolutely destroyed on the hospital pass. That's not a great one. Riles on the edge cannot get it. And now we're down immediately to a 3rd and 13. Dropping back. Blitz is there. Able to be picked up a little bit, but Hollier is there. And he's not going to get the first down. Not even close. Now I'm off sides there. It's not going to matter. They're going to take the 12 yards or so with that, but you got to be better there. As this is a handoff to Boston, the outside. Has an edge. Big hit Maxey there with the first contact. But still a good gain of 7. Gonna be a handoff here. And what a play! This is great penetration by Mullings. And here, we're not able to take down. We could have had a 4th down. We're not able to do that. And these balls are dangerous by Wilson. He's throwing it behind him. If they're missed, he can go for a fumble. Wilson calls his own number. Have an awkward rush, but he's going to get the first down. Barbie in the backfield. He's going to get it. Has a couple of blocks in deep into Panthers territory. That's a 1st and 10 from the 10. And here's Wilson calling his own number, and we bottle that up this time. 2 tight ends left side, rolling out to his left. Wilson on a nice little rollout pass, avoiding the cameraman, which is a nice touch visually. But what a play with the rollout. Design rollout. Adrian Norton's there. And now they have a false start going for 2. They're going to kick the field goal here. Remember, this is still a 5-yard penalty. And they're up by 2. We were up by 3 possessions at one point. And now we're down by 2 points. As we have here Butler trying to rush on the right side. Not going to get it. It's 3rd and 10. Dropping back. Looking. A little bit of a stunt. But there, Washington all by himself. A little bit of a high throw, but he gets the first down. Butler play action. Looking. Brown moving away from the pressure. Looking around. Going to throw off his back foot. Should have been picked. And it's dropped by the defender. We'll throw to the right. Washington has a couple of blocks and has the first down. Hand off to Butler up the middle. And they've been pretty good with the speed and stacking of the box. So we haven't had any big runs. This is probably our biggest run so far since that outside pitch. But in the middle, they are doing a pretty good job bottling this up. And we get a good yard there for first down. Dropping back. Brown looking on 1st and 10. Rollout. X might have been open there, but we're on the move. We're not going to underthrow that, so we'll just take the sticks. The first down. Dropping back. Brown looking. This time going over the middle. Throwing a little bit behind Riles. If it's in front of him, it's probably a touchdown. That's down at the 1. Butler loses 1. And we have the goal line stands not happen right now. Butler down at the 2. Going here. Going to be a handoff here. Actually, a forward pass to Riles. If I go for the edge, I might have it. It's a 4th and goal. Dropping back. Brown, pressure in his face. He throws. It's... Hollier has it. It's a touchdown. Is this a shocker? Is this a shocker? By Grant Hollier. What a play. Defenders all over his back. He has it. Marshall could still answer, though, but they need a touchdown. Throw on the right side. Can this defense clamp down? That's no gain. Dropping back, looking, going underneath again. We rally to that tackle. 3rd and 4. Dropping back, looking. Marshall only has 1 timeout. Over the middle. What a great play, but a bad awareness. And that is a great play from Marshall. Throwing underneath this time with a 3rd and 7 coming up. Dropping back, looking. Wilson. Touch pass into the gap in the zone. We're playing deep. That's a good route for some space. 1st and 10. Wilson hit as he throws. A little bit of a floater. We keep him in bounds. That's a mistake. You got to get out of bounds there. Clock's ticking. Quick throw. This is the middle of the field. Clock is still ticking. This is going to be the last play of the game. Dropping back. 3rd and inches. It doesn't matter because we have the sack. It's ended on a defensive play for Georgia State. We needed 41 points here. Brown has 4 touchdowns. Buck 70. I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns. Just a man on a mission on his last 3 games of college football. But what a great play by the tight end. That's probably has to be our play of the year so far. Big pressure, and he comes through with a big catch. What a game. What a game. Fighting against Marshall here. We win 41-36. That's crazy. What a play by Hollier in the end zone to win this game. Just wow. Just wow. Good in the rushing, 236. Passing, we did 170, but a lot of rushing and we did pretty well. As we go down our red zone, 83%. We'd like to get that better against Marshall on defense, but clean play today. And well, we got through it pretty well. But we're going to start with Marshall here. Delray Wilson, 30 of 39. 349, 2 touchdowns. The man was just standing in the pocket. He scrambled some. That's why he has 3 touchdowns in scrambling. Just what a great job there. But the running back is just not there. We did a pretty good job bottling those up, but stopping Wilson was an issue. In the air, Culliver has Buck Adolph, 5 receptions. 11 receptions by Toby Payne, a buck 7 and a touchdown. Norton had that touchdown in the end zone. So we had 3 sacks here. We got some pressure going on here. TFLs, we were actually able to run through the line of scrimmage, which helped. Maybe it was the mix of plays that we actually did, but we did a pretty good job and some blocking as well. On our side, Cameron Brown, 21 of 32, buck 70, 3 touchdowns. So clean sheet for him today. A 137 on the ground for Butler. Brown at 95 yards. I think this is probably the most I've had with a quarterback rushing in my Dynasty history. This has been an insane year. He has a touchdown, 2 touchdowns for Butler as well. Broke a long one off a pitch, I think it was. Riles with 80 and a touchdown, 10 catches. Hollier, the hero, I would say, of the day. 4 receptions, 23 yards and a touchdown. Avery also had a touchdown. We actually gave up no straight sacks. We did give up a couple of sacks, though. I think scrambling around, just pressure sacks. But Brush, Jaden Hood with 1.5. Keelan Butler with 1.5. Mullings is there. The TFLs looked good. And I thought it was a pretty good day all around. All right, so 100% we do have that. And we have all the ad goals for this season. The NIL is going to be there for us. I think we have to give an offer somewhere in there, and we'll see. Our championship contender goes up to a D. That is interesting. Our brand exposure is just under a D-. Okay. We're going to do a full practice for everyone. And then we are going to get this last game underway. Now, the Racing Cajuns here, Louisiana, looking at their stats. It's going to be Lunch Winfield. Hopefully he doesn't eat our lunch today. 76 overall. I know, bad pun, but he's an option king, and we've had some issue with some pure runner archetypes. 2,100 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I mean, he could be a bit of a pain out here. In the rushing department, Rockwell, 530 yards, but he is injured, so we're going to see Anthony Regan out here. East-West playmaker archetype here out of New Jersey. He has 2 touchdowns. Winfield has 3 touchdowns and 294. It's actually not too bad at this point. Jaden Johnson in the receiving core has played 7 games, 45 receptions, 712 yards. Jesus. Wow. Okay. And then Sampson Jr. 423. Your touchdowns here have been Regan, the halfback, out of the backfield, maybe. The edges, again, could be something we probably exploit. We'll see how our edge rushers do. A lot of good TFLs. Edwards here has a lot of speed, making him a TFL machine. And then Lance Williams on the outside, pretty good as well. 9.5 sacks by Williams, probably our best sack player that we do have, that we've went up against. And then Edwards actually has played a little off the edge and has 7 sacks as well. Maybe those are blitzes, but that's an interesting one. Do you know what I said, that this is probably our best rushing time as a quarterback? He has only 550 yards. I think I've had a quarterback around 700. We're gonna see more probably running from him. The passing, at least we're in positive on that one, so we'll see if we can keep it positive for this last game. We are at home for this final game of year 1. This is probably the fastest time I've ever got through a first year. I think my editing cycle in a lot of these videos is a lot better than they have been in previous. And fitting 2 games in a block, I feel like this is a great thing. Obviously, if we have some more heated moments, but 2 games really giving you guys an hour episode's great. We're going up against the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. They used to be what? Louisiana State? Or was it something else? They dropped off that last portion and just became Louisiana. So I think LSU is Louisiana State. So here we go, Sheldon Thompson. We have Lunch Winfield out here. And we have clear conditions today as Winfield on an RPO going with the crosser there. And that is a great play. Well, a slant, I should say. We hand off to Regan, playing for the injured Rockwell, as that's only a gain of 1. He's going to call his own number. Winfield on the outside has a couple of blocks, the 30, the 20, taking down from behind at the 13. Hand off to the receiver, and what a play! This could be a troubling game, just like that. 2 big plays with a couple of small ones, and that's all Louisiana needed. That's Russell Babineau, by the way, out there. Grant Hollier had 4 catches and a touchdown, but the biggest highlight, the last game for my man with the plan, and that's Brown. But we're going to hand off to Butler that first play for a gain of 4. Dropping back, Brown is going to call his own number. This is the last game we can say. First down for Mr. Brown. And all the great puns. But Butler stopped there, only for a gain of 1. Dropping back, gonna fake the pitch, and we're gonna run this for Brown again. Make it a 3rd and 6. Dropping back, Pressure off his left, pushes him into pressure off his right, and then we punt it back to Louisiana. Nice little razzle-dazzle in the backfield, but doesn't really go anywhere. It's a loss of 2. Gonna be a handoff here. Riggin nowhere to go. 3rd and 9 immediately here. Dropping back, looking. Has time. Winfield gonna run for it. Run. And it's a sack lunch. That's Rhodes Nelson with the sack lunch. Let's go. Our defensive line has played better over the course of this year. The secondary, not so much, but the O-line is really starting to come together. They are a lot of upperclassmen, so that's something we need to be worried about. But hey, I like the sacks, and I like to continue running from Cameron Brown for the first down. Going to be a handoff here to Butler up the middle, and that is nothing for us. That's 2 yards. We hand off here. This is what we like to see from Butler, and that is a first down. Trying to make a man miss. Maybe could have had a touchdown, but this time Butler has a block. He's going to be taken down at the 1. Could not extend for that, but we're going to call his number again. This time he's going to finish it. That 1 yard means nothing, as that is a big answer to this Louisiana offense, who just looks great at times with a lot of speed. Here, a nice little RPO dodging around there as Winfield gets the first down and a couple more. Gonna be a delayed handoff up the middle. What a stiff arm by Riggin. And that's a 2nd and 4 here. Tight end stacked on the left. It's going to be quarterback keeper. Going the outside, the 45-40. Slide down before he takes that contact. He has 4 carries for 61 yards. So we're going to have to QB spy him a little bit more, because we have a great spin move on the outside, but we have a sea of blue jerseys there. 2nd and 3. And that is bottled up as we work into the second quarter. No passing yards for us, but great in the rushing yards, so we like to see that. Touchdowns any way we have it, but that is going to be no gain as they come up with a 4th and 5. Looking and going over the middle. What a grab, and what a play to get the man off of him. The secondary has been a lot of problems today, but then they do save a touchdown, and this can be handed off here. The line of the linebacking core is able to bounce him around. 3rd and goal. Gonna be a handoff. Dives over. That's an easy play for Riggin to go into. Actually, that one was their 3rd down back, so that was Griffin out there. As we have a little play action with Brown going on the outside for a gain of 4. Play action again. We hold the RPO runner. Throw, and Riles hauls it in. A lot of grabbing there, but he gets that good first down. But we're flushed out of the pocket with some good edge pressure. That's no gain. Brown looking, and nothing. I don't know how he got out of that. Cameron Brown for the first down. A play action again, nowhere to go. Luckily, actually it's an RPO, but luckily that wasn't a sack, but that one was. That makes it a 3rd and 16. We're going to set up the screen game here. Looking. Couple of blocks is all we need. We do get a couple of blocks, and that makes it a 4th and inches. We're going to go for it here. Handoff. Butler bouncing around, gets the first down. Going to be a handoff to Butler again. Cuts it back up the middle, and that is another great gain. We are just moving this offense, going underneath the Washington. Butler, great block deep into the Raging Cajuns territory. That's our 1st and goal from the 7. Quick throw right side of Hollier. He is on fire, but that's not going to help things as we give it off to Butler. Butler, a couple of good blocks in front of him, but just cannot take advantage of it. 3rd and goal. Switching out the play a little bit, some movement. Dropping back, looking. Pressure in his face. He gets it off, and it's going to me. I think that's McGee. We have a McGee sighting out here. Mr. McGee. Actually, it's Mr. Magoo. as my dad always said, which is funny because I've never watched any of it, but it's Mr. McGee and he has a touchdown for us, tying it up. So it's going to be a run up the middle for a short gain, dropping back, looking. That's time. Going to go underneath Winfield. Nice bit of patience there. Some pressure in his face as we take this 2 minutes. Dropping back, looking. Weaves in between the offensive line and slides down. Good gain of 8. Tight end left side, looking, going over the middle, and that is a great play. And that makes it a 3rd and 2, and we stiffen up. We have a minute 30 here to double down on this. Brown running away from pressure with the QB spy. Yeah, we need to stay in the pocket for that one. Trips right, looking, quick throw on the little comeback route there over in the middle, and that's a 3rd and inches. Dropping back, looking, setting up the screen. He's going to give it out to Butler. And I don't know what those blocks are. That's the first time they've gotten so fast through those blocks. And that's not the first time, though, the edge has been giving up on this. But we stop it after 7. Dropping back. We send a 4th, being in a linebacker. Throw right side. We take him down, but that's a 1st. Dropping back. Quick throw in the slant. What a great defensive play. Dropping back. Little pressure in his face. QB spy this time. You have a QB. Are we QB spying our left edge? I guess that would be what it is for a 3-3-6 or 3-3-5. Dropping back, looking. Taken down from behind. It's another sack lunch. And that will end your half. 14-14 in the last game of the season. I'd love to go into this next year with a good high points. But what is the secondary going to give us? I know what didn't happen. Well, Archie Manning not having a fun time after getting beat by Texas A&M. Michigan State over Rutgers, and a Wisconsin beat Minnesota. Did Minnesota just drop outside the top 25? That would be wild because they were there the majority of the season. Because we have pretty similar stats here, and well, that isn't shocking. Well, it actually is with our defense, but throwing it out to Butler for a good gain of 6. It's going to be handed off to him this time, and that will make a 3rd and 4. Dropping back. Brown looking, going back to Butler. 3 straight touches and a 1st down. Shotgun, tight end offset left. Play action rolling away from coverage. Good touch pass, just not enough air under that, and that's incomplete. Quick throw right side. Riles has a couple. Still 3rd and 7. Dropping back, looking. Brown going underneath. A lot of crossing routes, and we just confuse this defense and get the 1st down. Brown looking. Give here. Bounces on the outside. Not a lot of blocks, but does pick up a couple. Looking here. Snap is a little offset. Looking his, he throws, and the defender's looking. That's probably a pick 6. Dropping back, looking. Brown. Nice running space in front of him, and that is good to the 25. As we hand it off to Poe with a good run. As Butler checks back in. Hand off to him. Cuts it back. Has some room. He's going to be one diving man into the end zone. And there is Butler. The true freshman showing his skills. Butler has been absolutely amazing for us. I knew it was going to be through the run game the entire year, but as a true freshman, he's been great. And there is Winfield on the run. Gets it to Caden Johnson downfield for his 8th catch. That's a 1st down. Handoff right side, and Griffin out here, the number 39, with some good rushing. Riggin must have been banged up going into this game or hurt. And so we're seeing a lot of Griffin out here. This is a completely chaotic mess, but we do stop it, forcing a 3rd and 4. Looking. We have the edge. That's not even a QB spy. This man knows. He knows when he needs lunch. And that'll be another sack lunch. I think this is everyone on the D-line right now, besides one. But we play with 3 D-line and we have 3 sacks. I think that's everyone on the D-line that normally plays has a sack. And so we're going to hand it off to Butler here up the right side. Short gain. Butler again up the middle. And that's a first down. Man in motion from the left to right. It's going to be Riles getting this one. Cuts through some space. Has a couple of blocks. Stiff arm move there on the safety. And that is a good pass. We throw it left side off the RPO to the slant. That's incomplete. Hand off here to Butler. Not getting the blocks that we want, but it's a 3rd and 7. Looking here, dropping back. Blitz is picked up. Well, it's just an extra guy. We throw it here. Avery all by himself behind the blitz, and that is good awareness by Brown. Dropping back, trying to set up the screen. We have to throw this a little high. Butler adjusting. Makes one man miss, and that's a 2nd and 2 as we tick near the last quarter of the season. Burn underneath for the first down. And here it is. The last 12 minutes. Brown a little banged up right now, as you can see in his conditioning. Has that ball thrown off the mark and picked off. Giving a little more life, or a little life, in this Raging Cajuns offense. The pass is there. Does it have to be floated? No, I think that has to be a faster decision. But also, the defenders make smart plays, and Gilbert Leslie made a smart play. And he's just able to do it. Also, we kind of roll out to our right side, giving an easier path that he can make a play. So we need to be better than that. Luckily, who's not better using the edge is Griffin there. As Regan checks back in, being number 22. And we are all over that. Dropping back. Looking downfield. Going to throw it out of bounds. And they punt it back to us. Short field. Handoff. Butler taken down from behind. We do only use one. Dropping back. Looking. Brown taken down. And they'll mark that as a sack. 3rd and 13. Dropping back. Looking. Trying to find a man off Riles' hands. And that could have helped us. But we punt back to the Raging Cajuns. To the right side here. I don't know what that spin move is, Reagan, but it looks a little sloppy. Man in motion, the tight end works right and then back left. Pressure there in his face. Offset throw. What? He dropped it. Kobe Owens, you have to catch that football. That's a big interception in that moment. And that's a big play to jar the ball loose. So we get the ball back here. Going to pitch it out, or pitch it up, I should say, for past the Riles for no gain. Hand off here to Butler. Great penetration. And just like that, neither of these teams' offenses can do anything. Just stalled at this point. Luckily, we are up with that rushing touchdown by Butler early in the second half. But here, after not a great play by us, we punt it back. And, well, not like Winfield has many answers here. Going underneath, but this one, great play on the outside, make it a 3rd and inches. Dropping back, looking, rolling, and just wants to move the chain so it's not another 3 and outs. Winfield is tight end, offset to the right side, throws to the right, and that's a good stick route and an even better defensive play to jar it loose. Gonna call his own number, and the edge is just contained. It's a 3rd and 12. Tight end moves out to the outside on the right. Dropping back, blitz off the edge, and that has to be dumped off. And they're going to punt it back to us. Louisiana just saying, we'll try to stop your offense. They're going to start using their timeouts here before the 2-minute timeout. Then we hand off to Butler up the middle, and there is their second. We need to waste them. Quick throw on the right side. What a bad throw by Brown. The injury has affected his throwing, but that has to be higher. And now Winfield has a chance to tie it up, but that one's dropped. Dropping back, looking, pressure up the middle, and it's the 4th sack lunch. What a great play up the middle. And Winfield is just feeling this pressure. And he's going to scramble on the outside. And that makes it a 4th and 10. He has to go for this. Dropping back. Looking, going over the middle. Off the hands of the intended receiver. So we just need a first down. Looking, going over the middle. And we get Barron with a great grab. They used their last time out. Can we run for this? It's given to Butler. He stopped. It's a 3rd and 3. Dropping back, looking, going over the middle. They don't protect the sticks. They protect the end zone. And Hollier with the grab to end that game as we kneel it. What a great way to end the season at home. A big, big win against 2 winning teams. Unfortunately, this episode we could not win out to get us in that bowl contention, that bowl consideration. You need at least 6 games, and we did not have it. We just did not. And it would have been nice to get that one, but it was just not meant to be. We had other opportunities this season, but I'm excited where this offense could be going forward. What an end of the season. Back-to-back wins. First one against Marshall, and then we take down the Ragin' Cajuns. Would have been nice to actually get that first game and we'd have a bowl game, but we do not. Like, I don't want to say we're far from a bowl game. We could still get one, but it's highly unlikely. We'd have to have some crazy stuff to happen to actually us qualify to get in. Our offense played well today. Good in yards in the rush is $159. 1 passing touchdown. We were pretty good in the passing game. Only $157 though in the passing game, but we were pretty good with the completions. A lot of short passes. Trying to do a lot of stuff back in the line of scrimmage. We did have that 1 turnover. Just moving away, and we just happened to underthrow that. All right, let's start with us. 19-27, $158, and 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Cameron Brown in what is his last game in college football. The rushing, the true freshman, Xavier Butler, finishes with 2 touchdowns, 98 yards off 20 carries, and we'll see how he does in getting up. We did actually have Poe come in and get a carry for 9 yards, so we're seeing him get involved here and there. In the receiving, it was Butler there with 41 yards, doing a lot of screens, a lot of throws out of the backfield in the flat. We had a touchdown by Austin McGee, making a great play there. And like, I'd like to have a better passing attack, but we just don't have the speed. Gave up 3 sacks today. I had a lot of TFLs on our defense. We had 4 sacks, which helped a lot, and 2 of them being from seniors with Rhodes Nelson and Reeder, and then Howard and Butler being juniors and sophomores. So we'd like to see that to the lower classmen making those plays. Lunch Winfield 17-25, $149 and a touchdown. We kept his running actually down to under 100 yards. We could have been killed with this running. We did a pretty good job to keep him in check, and we also did a pretty good job keeping this running game ultimately in check, which I think is why we won. Johnson 81 yards here. We have 1 touchdown here by Babineau. All right, 4 sacks here that they gave up. All right, TFLs, sacks. Okay, 3. All right, and there's INT. All right, we'll have to see if we get a bowl game. I don't think we will. We're outside looking in. We shouldn't qualify for one, but you never know when it comes to games like this. We did get the expectations. We have 50% conference wins. So we get an extra 20 NIL. And then for the managed blueprint portion, the recruiting NIL, we're going to have 440 is everything. So we're going to have about 70 with this. I mean, even with this is not going to be something that's big. We're going to have to look at also like our facilities. We're not going to be able to do much with the facility moment here, but staff maybe. The biggest thing is we're going to have to keep our true freshman running back, which I think we should be able to do that. All right, let's advance to the next week and see exactly where we're at. I think week 13 is Army Navy week. All right, Harvey Alba has verbally committed to Georgia State. You'll love to see that one. And then Labau is down to his last 3 schools, and I think we are getting a good bit. Now, championship contender actually just went up to a D+, which you like to see there. And then brand exposure is just below breaking into D-, which is actually a big step forward with that one. We got motivator unlocked because the upgrades here, we're up to a level 10 and tactician. This should be the only 2 that we unlock here. I don't think, let's look at the bold projections. I don't think we should see us. Yeah. So, like here's Coastal Carolina, that was 8-4. Appalachian 9-3. Arkansas State 7-5. Yeah. So we needed 6 wins and we just could not get that win. So that's how we'll do that. Let's go to the next week, and we need to go all the way to where the conference championship portions, and then we will stop there for this episode. To round out recruiting, I think we have enough room here that we will beat out Kansas, and we will beat out Houston. We'll have this with Sumner. Lampkin should be an easy one to bring in. Mass should be an easy one. Moving to the top 3. This one is still going to be a bit of an issue, I think, but a 5-7 finish is actually really good coming from a team that only went 1-11 last season. So we 5 times the wins. We 5 times the wins, and it's Louisiana Monroe that only has 2 wins in the conference. So that was a good one. So what we'll do is we'll end up having a stream of this to go through the off season and that sort of thing. We'll look at the stats. We'll have all that fun. I will put out when that actually is on YouTube. So in the YouTube little message board thing portion, just pay attention to that. We'll be talking about that. I'll also put up a little schedule for that a day before, so you guys know when it's going to go on. It'll be scheduled up on YouTube for like a waiting room type deal, and then from there we can have some fun and go into our first off season, kind of learn more about this game. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Later.